Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by. We are here for the first session of our Cthulhutech stream. It's been a while since I've run this game.
Been a while.
It has been a long while. So I'm a little excited to be running it myself. We'll see how things go. So without skipping too much, we're going to give a really quick roundabout of what Cthulhutech is all about. Take the Call of Cthulhu, the Lovecraftian story, and throw in some Evangelions from anime to season it a bit, and then you throw in all kinds of crazy, like, almost Guyver-esque type people who can turn to monsters, and mix it all in a salad bowl and throw it all over the wall and see what sticks. And that's pretty much Cthulhutech. So
Wait, nobody told me we were throwing science at the wall to see what stuck. I didn't make enough pasta for that.
sometimes you do what you got to do. So here what we have is an entire group of what are called Tagers. Now, Tagers are humans who have been taken in by a secret society called the Eldritch Society. They're trying to fight against the Children of Chaos and all the cults from all the dead gods, like Dagon's cult and the Rapine Storm, which is Hastur's cult, or He Who Will Not Be Named. And since all these cultists can kind of turn into monsters because they go through this rite to do so, the Tagers, these guys, their secret society broke off from the evil guys and said, well, we're going to do this thing where we can turn people into monsters too, but they stay more human, and we're going to fight against those other guys. So it became this weird sort of Cold War secret battle, a shadow war between both the Eldritch Society and the Children of Chaos as we know it. So that being said, we're going to kick this right off and start talking about our pack. Now, we're going to go with Jeff, who is playing Bishop Zane, a.k.a. Callsign Savage. You are the leader of the pack, correct?
I believe so, yes. Bishop Zane is a very intense individual. Not that he tries to, but because he is a Tager Nightmare, it's kind of one of the traits that bleeds off into his human form.
Tell me a little about that Tager. Like, what's this Tager Nightmare form? What is that all about?
So this Tager Nightmare form, it's pretty wild. It's all the Tager forms they're Cthulhu monster-esque, which is the bonding process of the symbiote. And mine it's very big and very bulky. They're very, like, almost tanky, you could say. There's eyes all over their bodies. They have big shoulder pods that fire eldritch energy of some sort. They have very large claws and a tentacle sheath basically in their palm that can shoot out like 6 feet and wrap people up. Or
we don't need to hear any more about your tentacle sheaths. All right, so that's Zane.
And then there's the limit, of course.
We've seen enough hentai to know where all of that's
going.
Yeah. This could go bad.
This was not even going to go there. So I'm glad we had this conversation. So
I actually have a picture of me behind me.
Yeah, you do. As Zane, as people can see him, he's got a little icon of his character in human form, and then behind Jeff, he put like a picture of his monstrous form. And then we go to Chris, who's playing Cardova. What's up with your Arclight? Is your call sign? What's up with Arclight?
Well, Arclight, he's kind of a laid-back individual because, as a whisper, patience kind of the important thing that bleeds in. I'm from Odessa, Texas, and I'm kind of your fly-by-night, upper-level reconnaissance. Have two sets of wings, Gossamer bombs that can drop that basically are explosive balls of light.
Yeah, they're like flashbangs, right?
That blind people. Yeah, pretty much organic flashbangs.
Now, Cordova's also a Nazadi, right?
Right, I'm also a Nazadi, so that's a race that was created by the Migu.
Yep, to wage war on humanity back in the day. And going on over to Melisande, is that it? Melisande?
Yep. Melisande Morales, also known as Ghost.
Why does that remind me of the Game of Thrones character?
Because I considered naming her Missandei, and I also considered naming her Melisandre.
Fair enough. That's why it's a little close.
Whoosh.
So you're playing Ghost. What's up with her?
Well, Ghost is a Spectre-type Tager, specializing in black ops and stealth. So literally, I can walk through goddamn walls. Good luck finding me.
And people.
And people.
I'm
very good at walking through people and leaving behind either completely insane piles of what used to be a person or freezing them to death.
Now, you're also an Azadi, just like Cordova, correct?
Yes. Yes, I am an Almaty xenomix. So I am, in fact, Nizadi, partially Nizadi, hailing out of Ayacucho, Peru.
A Peruvian Tager.
Yes, a Peruvian tiger who's
Very
not
well.
on the coast because fuck Dagon.
Yeah, that is a thing, by the way. Dagon kind of rules the water, surprising no one. And that brings that last to Veda Chicago, who is codename Ember, which is actually wonderfully appropriate given your Tager, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. Veda is an Ifrit, which is essentially just picture the mythological Ifrit from any cultural reference that you want to use. It fully engulfed in fire, hugely powerful individual, to the point where his skin lights things on fire when he's in Tager form. Things just burn. Stealth is not his suit at all. He runs in, punches hard, and burns things to the ground.
Probably not also the guy you want to have come to parties, since you'll burn the damn place down.
That's also true. Now Veda himself is pretty confident. He's aware of what he is. He's kind of taken on some of that aspect of the Ifrit Tager, who has that supreme confidence and superiority complex. Does not mean that he talks down to anybody or thinks any less of anybody. He just feels like everybody has their place. Everybody does their job within the society. My job as a Tager happens to be to kill things and hit hard. So that's what I do.
Man of simple tastes.
That's right.
That, as you guys may have noticed, a lot of the people, well, actually everybody here. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Jester. Appreciate it. I was just watching you guys at Remote Turners playing your L5R. That was pretty cool. I lost my train of thought. So essentially, whenever these characters get kind of imbued with the symbiote and they bond with it, something of that symbiote always colors their personality, because they fuse on this like mystical level that's beyond time and space and Euclidean geometry, I'm sure, and Cyclopean landscapes, the whole deal that we're used to with the mythos, essentially. But some of that stuff kind of starts to well into the personality of the character that's bonded with the symbiote. And those personality traits kind of get more and more powerful as they deepen that bond and as they get more powerful as a team, essentially. So with that, we're going to kick this straight on in. Thank you guys for taking a second to humor me with let me know a little more about your characters. And we're going to get on over to our first wonderful screen here. Now, you guys all live in Chicago, the Arcology. Now, as you can see in this picture, there's this kind of a massive like covering, like a dome that is over the city itself. The Arcologies have been made to essentially protect what's left of humanity from the ruination of the world that's been going on by both the cults of all the gods, and on top of that, the Mygo, who have come to Earth and are starting to basically try to, for lack of a better like term, exterminate the upstart race of humanity. So there's a lot of danger outside the Arcology. Chicago is a huge Arcology. It spans from where the lakefront used to be all the way back to Arlington Heights. And that's a long way for those that are familiar with the area. This entire area is kind of encased in this dome. Now you guys have essentially a 3-flat off of Damon Avenue that you've been holed up with, that the Eldritch Society set you up with. Again, since the society takes up so much of your time, there's not a lot of time for extra pursuits in terms of like getting a job or, working a steady beat. Those types of things are given to you only as you need it. So if you need a cover to go get intel on a target, or you need to have a cover to kind of get close to a potential target, the society will set you up with a job. All your other needs are pretty much taken care of by them. So you're not usually worried about scratching 2 pennies together and worrying about your next meal. The society kind of takes care of you. You are their elite of the elite. Now, on top of that, since Tagers are primarily field agents, every pack of Tagers has an operator. It's either a human or an Azadi person who basically kind of keeps you all connected in the field and makes sure that you have all the materials that you need to do your job. And that can be hacking and intelligence. It could be like pulling up schematics for a building you're going into, or trying to, reduce the level of alert on local police because you guys are in the middle of a firefight or something like that. So they kind of like are your Overwatch. They're your last line of defense against all the normal stuff that is out in the world in terms of like, law enforcement or, other types of situations that could arise from those. Now, your guys' particular operator is named Eric DeSable. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull a picture of Eric out that I'm going to toss on here for you. Eric has been with you guys for about 6 or 8 months, so several different missions. He actually did have an issue in the field on one of the missions where he was a little bit too close to you guys because he needed to be in range for communications. And the van that he was in got attacked, and he actually was put in hospital for a while. Luckily, the Ashcroft Institute, which handles most of the medical and psychological services across Chicago, was able to stitch him back up and put him back together, and he was in tip-top tape back in the field again without too much ado. Now, much like all of you Tagers, Eric has a call sign as well. Eric's call sign is, let's pull it up here, Interceptor. I was on the wrong page. So Eric's call sign is Interceptor. He pretty much works with you guys almost exclusively via comms. He actually doesn't live with you at the house. For some packs of Tagers, sometimes their operator stays with them. Sometimes they stay other places. You know that Eric has a place that's more towards the Loop, which is where the NEG has its major governmental buildings and other facilities there. So he kind of stays in that area. He's known to you guys as a all right person in a firefight. I mean, he got attacked. He got away, but he's not exactly a combatant most of the time. But he's a brilliant technician. He's phenomenal with computer systems, and he can get you guys what you need in relatively short order every time he's out. So he's very, very capable as an operator. The day-to-day life in the house you guys have is pretty much you get up, you work out, you eat, you have a higher caloric intake due to being bonded to an extra-dimensional symbiote, because that's always fun. Luckily, you don't have any cravings for tater tots, unlike Eddie Brock.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure about that. But the days are pretty much mundane unless you get an assignment. And when you do, you're kind of like shuffled out. So the last couple of weeks since your last assignment, things have been pretty quiet. Not a lot has been going on in the city, at least not in your little area. You guys are basically off of Damon, so you have a large stretch of area that's more central to the arcology since it spans so far out west. So you guys are kind of facilitating a lot of small hot areas around, your general vicinity, several, blocks or so in either direction. Occasionally you get called out of that if something requires your special talents, essentially. Now, you guys have 2 intelligence-capable Tagers here. You guys have the Whisper, who can fly, has great perception. You guys have the Revenant, or I put you as Revenant. You're a Spectre.
I'm a Spectre.
Yeah, I'll have to fix that.
She'll be a Revenant eventually.
She'll be a Revenant eventually. But the Spectre is great for Black Ops and Intel as well, so you guys are primarily geared towards that. And so when things happen that you need to bring in that heavy, bring the foot down, that's where you have, Ember and you have Savage. Those are your hardcore, just ass-kicking Tagers. So you guys have a pretty solid, niche that you fill. Some of the other groups that are out there, how far north and south? I'd say probably in terms of north, given how far it stretches out to the south. We have a question here from Russ in chat. The arcology probably stretches well north of Evanston. As far as south, probably easy just to the outskirts of Gary. But we can't stop by Gary because that's vampire country. So, as we all know.
Fucking Gary, Indiana.
Right. It's wonderful. Wonderful place to visit as you're driving through at 70 miles an hour and not stopping. But the arcology...
Flyover country.
It is flyover country. The arcology itself is generally mostly populated by, as far as transportation, by public transportation, like buses and trains, and then you have slideways, which are pretty much sliding walkways that people just step on and it just takes them down the sidewalk. There's aren't a lot of personal vehicles owned. You guys do have one. You have pretty much a box truck that's been given to you by the Eldritch Society in case you ever need to leave the arcology or see the business, or if you need to move like a little more under the radar. Delivery trucks still occur. There's still that kind of thing that hits the streets, but not a lot of personal vehicles out there. So when you use the truck, it's usually because you're going somewhere with a purpose. You don't just kind of go out and cruise. It's not really a thing people do nowadays. But that being said, it's been a quiet couple of weeks. Things have been kind of restful. Not a lot has been going on with the society, at least in terms that you've been made aware of. In terms of how to get in touch with your superiors, Interceptor is pretty much your direct link. He is your focal point, your hub to all the other like packs and other areas of expertise that your society has its people in. You will contact him, and he gets a hold of people for you. You do have the occasional meetings with other Tager packs. That's not uncommon, but it's more than not just because... If it does happen, it's usually because you guys are going on a mission together or you're supplementing each other's work on something. Now, having just finished a couple missions like a few weeks ago and having got a chance to relax a bit, it's a little surprising to some, but not so much for people who are always aching for a fight like Savage probably is, that at 2 o'clock in the morning, say on the 18th, we'll go with today's date, the 18th of September in 2087, you guys are woken up by pretty much a priority call from Eric. In terms of communication gear, the way you generally get phone calls, it's like a wristcom essentially that has like a holograph that pops up and you can see like the other person, and it has like a privacy screen, so people viewing from the outside just see like a blank screen. When you guys are in the field, you use earpieces. But also remember, when you guys are in your Tager forms, you don't need those types of things. You can talk to each other naturally. But you do need them to talk to Interceptor, because he's not a Tager. He doesn't get communications with you guys for free like that. He's not in the club. Yeah, you guys all do.
Well, no. One of the things that I have as a whisper, I have I have broadband audio.
Well, that's a fun one. I'll keep that in mind. But for general, it's usually via earpiece, etc. Now, it's 2 o'clock. You guys are laying in bed, and then next thing you know, all of your communicators are going off. Like a fire is going on. Just beeping off the hook. Like, you guys are asleep in bed, and the light is just flashing red over and over, and it's really annoying, piercing call. Just a shrill ripple as the thing keeps on going off as he's trying to call you.
I'll sit up in bed like Michael Myers, just that the whole top of your body comes up at once, and I'll hit the thing. What?
Hey, Savage, we got a problem.
Yeah.
I got news that another pack, their nest, their hideout, we're getting a lot of alarms going off there, silent alarms. They're not answering. I tried to hail them already. I tried to get a hold of them. They're not picking up.
Shit. All right. Send me the information. I'll be physically getting up. I'll grab a half smoked blunt out of the ashtray and light up.
Okay.
And I'll just open the door and be like, "Hey, we got problems. Let's go knock this."
After Savage picks up the call, that constant ringing on all you guys' communicators ceases, but you all will get a ding as a file has been sent to all of your watches, essentially.
As I'm getting up, I'll take a look at it.
So what he sent you is that the pack that he's referring is called the Raveners. They have they refer to their home base, like I guess their HQ, as their nest. They consist of 3 people. There's an Azadi named Fallen, a human male named Wraith, and a female human named Red Eye. Effectively, they're a nightmare, a shadow, and a phantom Tager, respectfully. They have a setup not that far from a NEG manufacturing facility for mechs. So the New Earth government has a facility that builds their mecha, puts them out on production line. This particular HQ is nearby that. Like, not that far from it whatsoever.
Wonderful.
All right, grab your shit. Let's get out of here.
I'm ready to go. Point me in the direction of the problem.
Grabbing an energy drink as walking out front door.
I yawn and stretch and knock a whiskey bottle off my nightstand as I'm getting up.
So as Ghost picks up a hyper cola essentially and starts just chugging this thing down, Kurova is making a mess of his entire sleeping area by knocking empty whiskey bottles around. How do you guys want to get there? It's probably going to be at least 4 or 5 miles away. You guys can take public transit. You can take the van. You could walk it.
4 or 5 miles away at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even stopping at one of the stops or the van, I'm going to start running and expect my team to follow. We need to wake up, and this run's going to wake us up.
Oh man, is he doing that? Yeah, he's doing that shit again.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, let's go. Get the lead out, Karoba. I'll start running.
So you guys are running the 5 miles or so to this other base. Okay. What's everybody wearing generally? Are we talking like combat fatigues? What do you guys wear? Jeans, t-shirt, loose clothing?
Say jeans and a t-shirt, nothing descript.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
mine,
Jeans,
wearing
boots,
exactly.
t-shirt.
I'm wearing exactly what's in the picture. No shirt, cut off finger gloves, got the spiked wristbands, jeans with a spiked belt, and some combat boots.
So obvious nightmare is obvious. Got it.
What about Arclight?
Combat boots, in the jungle vented style, jeans, t-shirt, I got a hoodie on, sunglasses, and I'm just trying to haul ass
So
and stay away from the light.
So you guys are just running down the street. There's at 2:00 in the morning. There's not a lot going on. You can definitely hear the public transit going in the background, like some of the elevated trains that are around the expanded loop. That kind of, since it's so quiet with normal foot traffic and car traffic, kind of echoes through the spaces between the buildings towards you guys. Especially since you're headed more towards the downtown area, which is where this manufacturing facility was built. You guys pass maybe a handful of civilians on the way there. A couple of Nazadi here and there, a couple of humans. At this part of the neighborhood in Chicago, it's really mixed between the Xeno mixes, the normal Nazadi, and the humans. It's more of like an amalgamation of all types of different cultures that have kind of come into this relaxed stasis with one another. So as you're running, you'll see a lot of like the colorful decorations that people put out on their lawn, preparing for All Hallows Eve coming up next month already. There's a lot of things being kind of just set out to kind of make the neighborhood more vibrant, because really the arcology itself can be kind of drab because there's really no natural light that ever comes through. It's usually artificial. When that sky lights up, it's literally just a dome over you with the lights on the inside effectively trying to mirror some semblance of sunlight. So as you guys run, there's not a lot of people out, maybe a handful. You get closer to the manufacturing plant, and you start having Interceptor feed you guys directions and locations. So he literally leads you to this alleyway where the pack has set up shop at the end of.
So, real quick,
Yep.
the game is to make it there. There's 2 rules. One, you can't get touched by a headlight. If there's a vehicle coming, you got to figure out how to stay out of the headlights. And 2, no stopping. If you stop or get touched by the headlights, it's your job to cook dinner the next night.
You're making this a thing.
It's a game.
Okay. Does
Some
everybody?
bitch.
Let's-
All right.
That's bullshit, Bishop. You know I'm not stealthy.
That's
This-
some shit.
This
How
will
is
be.
that fair to literally any of you?
This is really going to be.
Hope you all like hot dogs and beans.
Just don't light the apartment on fire next time.
Well, we can't grill outside, so it happens. I have internal compass.
Okay.
What's around us?
So essentially, where Interceptor is leading you down this alleyway, there seems to be some sort of like hidden entrance. Like you can feel it, like it's there. Now, what's interesting is you're not in Tiger form, but you don't feel any Adornoids nearby. So that's a plus, right? Because you can automatically detect them even in human form. So that's not clocking at all on your senses. The lights that are down the street here, all the cola signs, all the neon advertisements, they're just humming away. There's nothing else that seems to be going on except for the occasional passerby. Like it literally looks as deserted as you see. There's maybe 2 or 3 people at the end of the alleyway. This doorway is halfway down it, like by the dumpster on the left-hand side there. But you're not picking up anything else that seems to be out of place. Everything kind of feels right to you. As a Whisper, having been through the city, not only on the ground, but through the air as you fly, this feels like a normal night. There's nothing out of place outside.
I'll also be applying my acute sense of sight to make sure that we're not getting ambushed,
Right.
or something is out of place around here,
So
and
The first
to
thing-
and to avoid headlights.
But before we get there, let's make those stealth rolls. Since your pack leader, Savage, wants to make this a game of who's going to start cooking fucking dinner, who wants to roll first? Maybe
Why
Bishop
not
should roll
me?
first.
Because
I'll roll first because I'm the I'm the one who made the rules, right?
Right, so
So-
you'll look at your agility skills, look at her stealth. It will tell you like not only the level of skill that you have, like novice, student, adept, etc., but also how many dice you roll. So go ahead and roll that many d10, and then you add your agility on top of it once you select. But let's see what you get first, because this system, for those who aren't used to it, can be a little interesting. It's like building a poker hand essentially with the dice. But let's see what he gets.
All right. So what I'm gonna do?
Whoa!
I'm gonna keep the 6,
Whoa, whoa.
7, 8,
How do
9,
you
10.
get 90?
Pause.
How do you get 90?
Oh,
You don't
I-
add you don't add your attribute as how many dice you roll.
You just roll the skill.
You just roll the skill, and then you add that as a flat
see.
bonus. So let's refix that. Let's fix that. So,
You just make dinner and dessert.
right,
I'll take my pair and add
Hey,
7,
nice.
giving me 17.
right. So you got a 17. That's where we have right now. So we have Zane at a 17. Who's going next?
I am not rolling. I will run through all of the headlights and yell
I'll take
cheese
my
sandwich
favorite guy.
bitches, and if you're lucky, I'll shift and grill them for you.
Oh my god.
All right. So Ember's already not even fucking around. 'Cause I don't play these bullshit games.
stealth was a bad call. Sorry. You
yeah.
got a Spectre.
Let's see if Arclight can manage to stay out of any headlights here. I'm putting the difficulty at 15, by the way.
Oh, well, don't forget to add your.
Well, he's got the 10.
Yeah.
The 10, right?
Oh, I guess. Oh,
And
that's
then add
right.
your agility.
That's
You keep it like a high card.
No, 10's don't explode, but you add. You
Oh.
got it's your high card essentially. So you keep the 10. What's your agility at?
8.
So you have 18. You're good. Is Ember even going to try?
No.
Okay. So
You
let's
already said bite me.
I mean, I'll roll something if you want me to roll it. Just to
just
see
roll a d10.
how
At,
bad
at,
it is.
at a 9 or a 10, you don't get caught by sheer dumb luck.
He's gonna roll d4s just because he wants to cook dinner.
Right.
So close, but it's
Oh.
cheese sandwiches, ladies and gentlemen.
Literally.
Do I get to add my agility?
No, you don't, because you didn't bother trying to stealth. So no. So essentially, you would normally just add your agility if you don't have it trained in the skill. You just use your base as your result, effectively.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, you guys get nearly to the alleyway. Arclight's already checking the place out, scanning down the alley, making sure everything's looking like normal, like nothing's out of place. Everybody else starts showing up, and right as you round the corner, the mouth of the alley, and Ember just gets nailed by like a truck's headlights just swinging by. It's literally like that typical like the black brick wall behind him, and all of a sudden the spotlight just hits him, and he's just lit up, you know.
I'll just turn and look at him and be like, I like cheddar and mozzarella mixed in my sandwich.
I'll flip you off.
I'll stop, and it'll be at that point. It'll be no more games. As we walk into the alley, I'll just look over at Cordova, and
Corova.
oh,
There's
Corova.
no D in it.
Corova. I'm
We're gonna
sorry,
change his
Corova.
name like we
Ray is
changed
trying to
Daihachi's
change
name.
my name again.
I say again. There's an again to this.
I'll just
There is
look
again.
at him and point up. I'll be like, hit a rooftop arc light. Let me know what you see. Ghost, make a circuit around real quick. Let me know if anything's out of place. People that aren't supposed to be there. People just standing around like us. I need to know it.
So for Arclight, the buildings to either side are roughly 4 to 5 stories. There are some essentially fire escapes you can climb up, like hop, either just run up, hit the brick of the wall, and hop up and grab, and climb your way up, or you can just say fuck it and go Tager form, erupt into your symbiote, and fly. It's up to you.
Are there witnesses?
There are a couple of people flying here and there.
Are they
Do
actually
people
flying or are they walking?
I did say flying, didn't I? I meant walking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, people are just floating
I was
around,
gonna say,
man.
well, that's
I mean,
a problem right there.
That's what I'm saying, and now we know where the issue is.
it's a normal Friday night in Chicago. People are flying everywhere,
Do-do-do.
It's so savage.
right?
You hit
Yeah.
that blunt first.
Yeah, Savage is getting out there.
And basically, I'm going to have them do their scouting thing.
Okay.
This is their time to shine.
Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna
I'll sit back
scale
with them.
scale up the building however I need to, whether it's fire escapes and whatever else is necessary.
What's your
is
strength
that,
attribute in human form?
7.
Oh yeah, you're good. With that level of
Okay.
strength, you literally just you do like a quick hop run towards the wall, plant your foot on the brick, and jump off and grab the fire escape and just pull yourself up.
Okay. And
You guys,
my athletics is a 2, so if that.
oh yeah, you're golden. Like this is
Okay.
like
All right.
easy walk in the park to you. For those are around the area, like as Ghost is going to check out the surrounding, like the edge, the one entrance and then the other one of the alleyway, you hear that little scuffling of his feet on the brick, and then just a very subtle clang as he grabs on and pulls himself up the fire escape and starts making his way to the top of the building. What are you checking out there, Ghost?
Well, he said make a circuit around, so the easiest thing for me to do would just be pop Tager, phase, and wander.
You sure can.
Since it makes me invisible. So I don't have to worry about stealthing while I'm observing.
So, first thing off the bat, whenever you start summoning your symbiote, or your symbiote, however you want to pronounce it, once you start calling on the other being that shares your body and your consciousness, literally your body itself almost gets pulled into the stasis between dimensions as the physical form of your otherworldly patron effectively manifests around you. You guys see this shimmer for a split second, then you, in the back of your mind, feel the Tager's presence as she goes full symbiote, and then it vanishes because you're not in Tager forms yourself. The first thing that Ghost notices, you do not have any other Tager pings anywhere within the mile.
That's not good.
That's the
And
first
it's
thing.
really just you all here. That's not good.
So, since they're not in Tager form, you have to use your normal comms, just so
That's
you're aware.
fine.
Yeah.
I would
it's
assume
super
there's some
easy.
kind of sub-vocal or something.
Yep. Super, super easy. And you hear Interceptor once you do that. He's like, what's not good?
There's no other Tager pings. There should be.
That qualifies as not good. I'll monitor traffic and make sure nobody else is coming down there.
Thank you, boss.
If shit pops off and you hear the cops, or when you get word that the cops are coming, let us know so we can be out.
I'm on it. I'm going to go ahead and roll his
So-
computer really quick.
I'd say it would be my perception that I would add to my hand.
Yes.
All right.
So he's keeping that 8. So that's a 15. Okay. So your high is the 9.
Which I'm going to keep.
Okay. And your perception is what in this form?
9.
9. Oh, wow. So you're an 18. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Given that you guys have been in Chicago for some time now and you're used to the city, you've gotten used to the way the city breathes, the way that things move, the normal ebb and flow of traffic, and the way that the nighttime and early morning stuff goes, nothing seems out of place. Like, everything seems fine. What you do realize is as you walk down that alleyway to check out the other side, while you're just kind of skimming through that wonderful invisible
Invisible world that I can walk
Yeah.
through.
you do see this armored door that as you walk past it, that's what Interceptor's pinging as the entrance to the nest.
Found the entrance.
All right, keep the circuit to the outside first. We'll worry about the interior when we secure the exterior.
I'd say there's nothing else on the exterior that I'm noticing.
No, you're just going around the back of the buildings as you kind of start to do an actual circuit. Actually, for both Ghost and Arclight, as Arclight climbs to the top of the building, you actually catch a teenager smoking a cigarette on the rooftop, and he sees you pull up. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Once I get up on the roof, I just pull out my flask, open it up, take a drink, offer him.
No, I'm good. I appreciate it. I'm gonna.
Sure.
Yeah, like you. I don't recognize you from around here. Like, you're not from my building. And he'll take another hit.
Nope, just wanted to get up and get some fresh air.
Yeah. All right. That's not weird at all.
I'm not from around here, so
I know. I'm go now. And he actually
All right.
points to the little door that's standing at the top of the roof that he came up through. Be cool. And he flicks a cigarette off the edge. He goes in the door and heads in. You hear it close. And you hear like 2 latches behind it as he locks it.
I switch into trigger form now.
Okay. So immediately as you start doing that, the symbiote starts to form around your body. Again, you get pulled in that like physical stasis weird area that it's almost like a steady, I'd say 76, 77 degrees is just comfortably warm. But as that happens, your senses flip. You go into full Tigger mode. Like your senses get heightened while you're your whisper. And then you feel immediately as it finally forms around you that ping from Ghost down below. And Ghost likewise feels Arclight up on the rooftop as he's now assumed his Tigger form. That being said, those are down on the ground level here. The air is still a little bit wet because of the hydration sprays that have gone out to try to kind of clean down the buildings and get rid of some of the dirt and like the buildup of dust and shit. So there's this literally like this glaze of water, as you can see here in the image from the alleyway, on almost every surface. It's starting to dry rather rapidly, but it's around that time of night where these things happen, so it's nothing unusual. It's just, it makes the air wet. Up top, there's not anything that Arclight sees coming out in terms of weird traffic like the audio visual range, and not in any sort of radio wavelengths either. For Ghost, when you kind of do a circuit like in and out, like some of the small outside portions of the buildings, it seems like it's a normal freaking day. Like there's nothing out of place at all. Like there's not even a car that's parked sideways, like or like double parked. Like everything seems normal.
Now I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
I have a picture of my Tigger behind me.
Yes.
But I don't know what the other 3 Tigers look like. Maybe a little flavor.
Little show and tell.
Sure, let's see what we got here for everybody for this. We're going to pop some stuff up on the screen to show you all the craziness of these Tigger forms.
Yeah,
so,
this would be why you thought I was a Revenant, because I had to steal the Revenant one.
That's right.
Because I didn't like the way the Spectre looked. And there aren't any, like, really cute pictures of Spectre.
All right.
That'll be me up on the roof with my Tiger-sized pistol.
Yes, sir, there's 2 of
Yep.
you there, unfortunately. There we go. Now there's just 1. There we go. So here essentially is our is Ghost. She's got this very weird, like, spiky form about her. And this is Arclight here. Arclight actually has a specially made large pistol for him that he can use while he's in this form. And I'm going to throw Ember up here just for S&Gs because he looks exactly as Sean
As you would assume
described him.
someone named Ember
Yeah.
would look.
Oh,
These
yeah.
are our 3 that have not yet, well, not everybody's formed, but we have Whisper, we have Ghost, we have Ember down at the bottom as they're going about doing their thing. So let's pop
Arclight,
it back up.
Ghost, and Ember.
Yeah, I called him Whisper because he is a Whisper Tiger. All right.
Sorry, you guys are probably going to hear a meow or 2. Someone is clinging to me tonight.
We adore the
That's
cat.
normal. I'm scanning my broadband audio.
Mhm.
I'm also using X-ray and thermal through the building, and I'm also going to apply scan, which gathers vital statistics on living things, including
Yep.
whether or not something is alive or dead.
So when you start looking down, essentially, Arclight will kind of first check out the building he's in because you're on the building that actually has the entrance. As you start scanning through, you basically come to realize there's about 15 or so humans in this apartment building. Some are, well, most are actually asleep. There's only a handful that are awake right now. They all seem to be in okay health. Some are a little bit sick, but it's nothing abnormal, nothing unusual. When you get towards where that entrance is below you, you hit a wall. Like it's completely shielded.
Oh, this is not good.
Essentially, you see what you can tell, like by virtue of seeing what's not there. When you scan that bottom level where that door is, it goes in probably about 15, 20 feet and then stops. Like it's a small corridor that's in there. It doesn't expand into an entire like house or anything like you guys have. It goes in like 15, 20 feet and then the corridor ends. But that's all shielded. You can't see inside.
Bad news. The corridor is a dead end, after the door. So basically, the nest, it's entirely shielded, and I can't penetrate it.
Can you get in from up there?
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
walk to the edge and look
The
down
building,
at
I
him.
mean.
yeah. You walk and look down. Like Savage can see the whisper up on top. You know, as Arclight kind of peers down at him, like, what the fuck?
Which point he starts getting a shimmer next to him
There's
as
no
Ghost
roof?
makes her round back.
There's no roof? Or there's no roof access or nothing?
No, Chris,
Yeah.
it's on the ground floor.
All right. Well, then,
You have to get in from the outside because their nest is a shielded room. It dead ends. It doesn't go anywhere.
Here,
About
come
Alright.
follow
it's
Predator
about
Vision. I'll
It's
show
about
you where.
15. It's about 15 feet in.
So
It's
we
all
can't get
shielded.
the door. We
I
can't
got-
get through the shielded door.
No.
Is it-
I got an
I
idea.
can't. No, I
You
can't
can't
Come
see
down.
see through it.
Yeah, he can't see through it, is what he's saying.
Well,
I'd
That's
say
fine.
the
Come
door's
down here.
over there.
I'll get us through the fucking door.
Right. No, I'm not worried about that. Come on, get down here.
All right. I'm gonna look around. Are there people out and about still?
No, with your vision, having scanned it, people are primarily sticking to themselves. Like, a lot of people are watching like vids tonight, some movies, you know, some are listening to some music. Nobody's really paying attention to what's going outside because, let's be honest, within the arcology, there's not a lot to look at unless you want to look at all the advertisements. So
Right.
they're minding their own business.
All right. Yeah, I'll coast on down.
Right. So you step
Just-
off the roof.
Lands, I'll tell him, get back into your skin.
All right.
I am in my skin.
Wait, I was gonna say that, but you're not Doanoid, so like you're equally comfortable in both. But
Right.
so you basically just walk off the rooftop, and given that your whisper has integrated itself so thoroughly into you, you know at the exact moment you need to flap your wings to actually land softly and quietly. So you
Right.
literally fall almost to like halfway down the like 5 feet from the ground, and that's when you kick in the wings and you just kind of hover slowly to the ground and land on your feet.
All right. So here's the plan. We're gonna walk around front, Ghost, just right through the door and unlock it from the other side for us, and then we'll figure out how to get into that room from there.
Didn't even test to see whether or not it's locked, but okay.
Yeah, the door itself is locked. Well, I'll just put that out there. But are you going to try to just phase through the door?
Might as well try it.
All right, I need you to roll your...
Say, what do I roll for this?
it's
I
going to
don't
be
even
a
know.
feat, so it's going to be your tenacity. So you take half of your rating, rounded down, and roll that many dice.
Okay. And do I have to add my tenacity to it or just leave it there?
You add your tenacity.
Okay. I'll take that 10, thanks.
Yeah, so 10 plus what? 9, I'm assuming, for tenacity?
10 plus 10, my tenacity is 10.
Okay, then. So you walk towards a door, and as your specter half essentially starts doing its work to basically dematerialize you and walk you through it, you feel pushback. There's resistance. You've never really dealt with this before, so it's a weird feeling. It's almost like you feel something just kind of leaning into you, like pushing you to try to keep you out, but you manage to force your way through it. And you see this hallway in front of you, and at the end of the hall there's actually a staircase that goes down. Can you see?
Figured out why you couldn't see into it.
Right about here at the end there's a staircase.
Yeah, where that ladder's at
Yep.
in the image. Figured out why you couldn't see it, Arclight.
Why is that?
There's a staircase leading down underneath this.
Those walls have to be coated in something, or
Oh, they are.
When you look
It's
around,
fun.
you'll
I like the
see
challenge.
when you look around you'll see sigils that have been painted into the wall. Some sort of magic has been used here to ward things off.
Oh, you got some magical folks up in here. Turn around and unlock the door.
Okay, it's simply like it's a really easy locking mechanism. It's just you swing a switch over back and right, and you guys will hear, like, as you grab it, you pull it and it kind of clanks into the side of the wall as you open the door. You guys will hear a small hiss, and then the gears will start to kind of pull the doors apart and open them up.
Eyes up, boys.
Well, that's very kind of you. and I'll step in with everybody else.
Yep.
She says while still being shimmery and weird.
I'll close the door behind us.
Okay. You just pretty much grab that lever back and you just pull away from the wall, and you'll hear again the gears in the walls start to grind and creak as the doors slowly seal and lock themselves back.
All right, let's see where that staircase goes.
All right,
You
Start
want me to
walking
scout
forward.
ahead?
Yeah,
All right, I'll go scout ahead.
all right.
we'll be a few steps behind her.
So Ghost walks towards the ladders and the stairs where they're right there, and you can see down below there's a lot of like catwalk type stairways and like walkways. As you descend down, it's literally just all industrial, all old industrial infrastructure. Partially rusted. You feel yourself as you descend further down, like you're down maybe 2 flights, and this environment is staying the same. Like it's got to be old. It's got to be from before even the archaeology. At least that's what it feels like. And then the 3rd floor down, you run into this entire like open area that looks like it's been abandoned. There are some light strips on the walls. That's where the light's coming from in the picture there. But a lot of the industrial like infrastructure here has not been used for a long time. So you've got bare, dusty concrete. It actually smells really dusty and like crumbled rock. There is another staircase at the end of that goes straight down.
I'll be relaying that information. 3 floors clear. Another staircase down here.
We'll be behind her, not by very far. Like I said, I was going to give her like 20 seconds leeway before we follow down.
Okay.
Once we get into this bigger open area, I will take my Tager form.
Okay. Is Ember doing the same?
Yep.
Okay. So we have a nightmare that forms itself, and then a big burning pile of molten rock is what it looks like. That kind of bursts into being.
At least we'll get rid of some of their dust.
The first thing is you guys immediately feel each other ping. Boom, boom, boom. All 4 of you are all here on the same net. But again, much like Ghost and Arclight didn't feel up top, you don't feel any other Tagers nearby. At least not within that mile distance. Even now that you're inside.
I'm gonna keep scan, thermal, and X-ray up. I'm trying to find them or anybody else.
Yeah, I'd
Or-
say I'm continuing to rock my observation, wandering about,
or remains.
phase in, phase out when I have to.
I'll basically tell everybody fan out and keep their eyes open.
Currently in this form, my perception is 12,
Okay.
and I have acute sense sight, which is a +2.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I got to fucking switch forms.
Essentially with your
I say
scan,
keep your eyes open, and I have like 20 eyes.
Right?
he's got jokes.
Okay,
So-
now close like half of those eyes,
So
where you blind yourself looking over at Ember.
Arclight, yeah, that'd be kind of funny. Arclight can hear with your enhanced senses, and you have scan too as Ghost, don't you?
Do I?
Jesse?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so
I think all of us have
probably do.
scan,
Yeah,
actually.
I have. I know I have scan.
I do too.
under your monster form, look in your basic tab, and it should be a thing for senses.
Oh, the little button here.
Yep, click on it.
Night vision, scan, and thermal. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Black Rose. How you doing?
Hi, Ash.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow, and I really, really appreciate it. We're just getting into some little creepiness here. So, as you guys all look around, all of you have night vision. I'm aware of, and I think all of you guys have
Night
scan
vision
too.
and
Yeah.
scan.
Okay.
Yep.
I
So
actually think my night vision is listed incorrectly, so I think I have the Nazati version of it.
Yes, you do.
You
Yes.
Yeah, because it's listed as human here, so let me actually fix that little problem. There we go.
I mean, what's a species between friends, right? So as you guys fan
I'm
out,
better at it than they are, that's what it is.
as you guys fan out and start exploring this old abandoned industrial like facility floor, essentially, Arclight can see sound waves bouncing off of the stairwell on the other side of the room. So from back, let me make sure I'm on the right layer so I can click it for you guys.
If I'm feeling sound, I'm gonna turn on sonar as well.
Right back in this direction, there's another shallow staircase that starts descending, and you can see sound bounce off of the walls down there. There's something moving down below. The concrete's too thick for you to see through and scan through, but those with night vision, you're seeing several sets of footprints that have been wandering around up here. This place, at first glance, for somebody who had human or even Nazadi vision, would obviously be abandoned. There's concrete dust everywhere. There's aging metal all around you. None of the facility stuff here is in any sort of repair to actually be in working order. It looks as abandoned as you see, but with closer inspection, you can see that people have been very carefully been walking through this concrete dust in very specific patterns so as not to disturb it overtly. That's the first thing that comes up. Second thing, it almost looks like it's partially a game, much like Zane put stuff together for you guys to run over here. This is like a test. Hey, I'll meet you guys downstairs all the way. Don't leave a trace of your passing. It's almost like a thing that this pack is doing, similar to how Savage tested you guys on the way over here.
Still don't know why he chose stealth. There's only 2 of us that are stealthy motherfuckers.
It was a
games
test.
for everything.
Right, it was a test. Game of instinct, man. It's a spot thing. Don't worry about it. Don't forget about it.
We just had a discussion yesterday.
We did. But everything here is eerily quiet. Like, there's no sound anywhere around here except the sound you guys are making, except for Arclight. Arclight can see the waves bounce. And when you hit sonar, the pattern that's hitting the concrete and reflecting seems like the pitch that you would see, the frequency you would expect for, like, voices.
Real light in our Traeger comms. So maybe like there are people talking down below us. I can see their vocal waves coming up through the stairwell.
This area.
When we're in our
to walk
Tager
through.
forms, it's telepathy.
Yeah, it's pretty much telepathy. You guys worry about being quiet.
Well, so let's go and ask him what's up.
Let's go have a polite conversation, shall we?
Yep.
Let's
Ember,
start
take
walking
front
over.
center. You're the target.
I'll just walk right up and down the stairs.
So you start
I'll be
walking to the
behind her.
stairs, and as Ember's walking in front of all you guys, the fire that's constantly emanating from his body is just radiating and casting these orange reddish lights all over, the room you're in. And as he gets to the staircase, when he puts one of those molten feet down on the metal, for Ember, you're kind of used to being around this form. Like, you function very well. You know your limitations. You also know when things are a little, like, not safe for you in your form because you are constantly burning. When you touch down, you feel the catwalk area there for a second sustain you, and then just maybe a millimeter or two, you just feel a subtle drop.
I'll take a step back.
You look down, you can see a molten footprint. You didn't go nearly, even a third of the way or a quarter way through. It's just the very top of the metal. You're starting to melt as you're standing on it.
I'm either going to have to not go first or go very fast because I'm melting the staircase.
You
Nope, I'll
do
go first.
see
Step
that the
behind me.
stairs go down probably about 2 flights.
Yeah, I'll tell him to, or I'll just say, Ember, put your skin suit back on and get behind me. And I'll take front and center, and I'll walk first.
Yeah, Ember, you can do this. This is bullshit. You know your capabilities. This guy. Who is he
I'll
to
just
doubt
walk.
you?
I'll just walk real fast.
Yeah, just walk real fast.
It's like walking on hot coals. That's the secret. You have to go real quick, and then you don't actually feel the heat. So it's going to work in reverse. I'm just going to quickly go down the stairs to the door, and there won't be enough heat at one given point in time.
While he's talking, I'm just going to walk ahead of him. I told him what I told him. Go ahead.
Right.
How big's the stairwell?
It's at least, so the stairs themselves are probably about a good 6 feet across. So enough easily for 2 people, normal sized people, to walk comfortably side by side, like one going down, one coming up. For a Tager, you can walk comfortably, one at a time.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm about 9 feet tall in my Tager form, so.
Yeah, you'll
Big
have to,
boy.
once you get like in the first rounding, flight, you'll have to kind of duck down among that other flight of stairs because you're going to be like literally
At the
popping
stair
the top of your head. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fine. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll be pushing on.
All right. So everybody descends. Now, much like he was saying, Ember makes it down without really melting to the stairwell. He just walked quickly. He's fine. You move you guys here. I'm going to go ahead and center
Oh,
No.
oh, oh, yes. I can't wait to hear
Oh.
Jeff.
There we go.
It begins.
I can't wait to hear Jeff's.
All right, just so we all are on the same page, everybody can see, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I can see
Yeah.
all of you. All right.
Already seeing blood.
Already seeing a
So
problem.
you guys, however, are in your Tager forms. So let me go ahead and swap you all out for your Tagers. All right, so that's going to bring this particular episode to a close. The characters have all just descended into this other pack's headquarters and are starting to feel things out. We've kind of transitioned from doing this overarching narrative form to actually pulling a map up so they can move around and investigate. They've already seen blood on the floor. It doesn't look good. They're not feeling any of the other Tager's presence in the area. We'll see what they discover next episode.